You may be familiar with change control, but does your program have a solid configuration management system? And if it doesn't, do you want to know how to put one in and be able to sell it to management? Now, change control is managing the changes that are basically made against a controlled baseline, either the ground source of truth or your latest version, the agreed upon version by the engineers. Maybe you have a lead system engineer doing that. Changes against that need to be managed. So that's change control. But the system that manages it, that's a configuration management system. Basically, we're managing the configuration of the software build, of the product design, of the mechanical chassis. Let's say if you're building an automobile or maybe a gearing system. The system that manages what's the latest version, configuration management. That's extremely critical. Perhaps you've experienced it where people have versions of their documents on their personal hard drive, or worse yet, I was on a situation where we were doing some engineering releases. Okay, so this is, we're stating the latest version of a drawing, and people make changes to the drawing. So what happened is it forked. So people made some changes on, let's say, an issue A, okay, and came up with what they thought was issue B, made some important changes over here, but then someone else had released issue B and then made additional changes on what was really their issue C. But this issue C over here did not have the other changes that were their issue B. Okay, well, that sounds like alphabet soup. I could assure you it was that confusing. We were able to untangle it. Basically, we went through both threads, identified every change, and finally healed it up with making up letters here. It was issue D, as in Delta, to where that actually had everything. But we had to explain that there was different threads, and we finally we had to issue that issue C, then add these other changes in and to get to D. So it was wasted effort, a lot of meetings which didn't need to happen, and engineers are time and money, so you're wasting money on your project. So if you want to do two key things, one is set up a configuration management system. May not need to do it in the research and development phase early on, but pretty early on you want to consider this. And then you're going to use your change control to manage against that baseline. So, let me know if you have any questions. Hopefully you're convinced of the importance of configuration management. An old boss who I'm tremendously fond of gave the piece of advice that once you've lost configuration management, you've basically lost the project. And I believe her. Comment below if you have experience in this, if you need any more questions, and I'll see you in the next step.